Hello, hello, and welcome to the Winter Yarny YouTube Hop. See, I told you I was going to be able to say it. Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa,
I'm Cryss.
and we just got our hop going. Woohoo! And to everybody else participating in the hop, hi, y'all. So, do you want to go first, or shall I?
Oh, I don't know.
Maybe we should have decided that ahead of time.
All right. Odds and evens. I'm even. You go first.
All right, I go first. Well, the last couple of hops, I made big projects or attempted to make big projects. And I've been 50-50 on that. So this time I decided to make something a bit smaller that would actually be an accessory to my main project for the season. So I saw the cutest little thing. This is the Sophie scarf. And those of you who have been following along recognize this yarn because it is the same yarn I'm using for my Dofuku jacket. So I will have an adorable little scarf to wear with my jacket. So you just put it on like this, tie it in what we like to call a jaunty little knot. You can either leave it like this or tie a second time. But what I decided to do was make a little accessory for my accessory.
It's like when your dog has a dog.
It's like when your dog has a dog. You know, I'm understanding that more and more. Let me pull up. So I made a magnetic little button that I can either wear just to decorate this scarf, or I can use it as a closure for my Dofuku, which was the original plan. But when I saw it on the scarf, I was like, hey, you can wear this on the scarf too. Let me show it to you a little bit closer.
What was that before it was a button?
It was a button.
This was a button?
Yeah.
You're supposed to push that through a hole?
I'm not sure. That's why I had never used it. I've had this button, I want to say, at least 6 or 7 years. When I saw it, I could not resist it. I was at one of those shows. It was either a button show. Yes, that's the kind of craft geek I am. I have actually attended button and bead shows. Or I got it at a Vogue knitting. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But I saw it. The colors were absolutely my colors. Now, it used to have like a little U-shaped holder that you could just sew it onto a thing. So I broke that off.
Oh, because that was okay. I had a number of questions.
Yeah, I broke that off, and I had a strong magnet, and I just glued the magnet onto the back of it. And then I took a little plain button, just something from my button jar, and I glued a magnet to that. So now, no buttonhole needed, no nothing. And the strong magnets are just as advertised, okay? I had a little bit of a snafu, let's just say, as I was putting this together. I followed the directions, very carefully on the glue because it was some real tough glue. And I made the mistake of forgetting that I'm working with magnets, and I put them down too close to each other. So, of course, they went glue side in. It snapped together hard enough that it actually splashed a little glue.
Oh.
So now I have glue on my desk. I have a little glue on my computer. And as I go to pry them apart, I now have glue on all over both of my hands. Yes.
But all's well that ends well.
I know. It works so well. I absolutely love it.
Worth it.
Totally. And I have, this is the type of button that will attract my attention if it's laying on a tray of a million buttons. And I have a couple like this. So I will be making closures like this for different types of apparel because so convenient.
It is.
And this is actually holding through 2 layers of this scarf in worsted weight. And it's holding securely. I thought it was going to be a little flimsy. No, my magnets are strong as heck. And you can get the strong magnets from Amazon. But don't play around. These magnets are really strong. Don't let them around kids or pets. But that's what I did.
Did you have a pattern for that?
Yes, this is the Sophie scarf by Petite Knit. And it took, I would say, a weekend. It was not a very long. I went ahead. Okay, so you know me. I don't follow a pattern exactly. So it's done in the pattern. It's written for a DK weight gauge. I wanted to make it to match my Dofuku jacket, so I used the same worsted weight yarn that I used for that. So I jiggered up the numbers a little bit so that it wouldn't be like enormous. So mine is actually somewhere between the small size and the large.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as long as the large. It's not as short as the small. And it's the same width as the small. So I love it. And it is shockingly warm. I thought this was only going to be, a cutie patootie scarf.
Wool. It's worsted weight wool.
It's worsted weight wool with a nice little dab of Angora. So although it's not a big bulky scarf, it's warm as heck. And I absolutely love it. I thought it was just, cute. And that's what I made for the Yarny YouTube Hop. If anybody is interested in the Sophie scarf, I will be putting up a finished object blog post to share whatever tips and tricks I have for working with it. But it's really an easy make. The only warning I'm going to give you is that it's going to look a little sloppy when you first start. You're going to think you're doing it wrong, but you're not. Mm-hmm. That's just how it looks at first, but it pulls itself together. Anyway, that's my Sophie. What do you have for the Yarny YouTube Hop?
It's funny because I almost didn't have anything for the hop. I had nothing. I was out of ideas. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I was thinking, isn't that hop coming up? And then we just filmed a video, which will be out by the time this video is out.
Yes, it's going to be out on Friday the 16th.
Showing we talked about some of the garments in the Wednesday series on Netflix. And Lisa liked this pair of socks that Wednesday wore. And they were just black socks with white pinstripe at the top. And I hadn't even noticed those in the series, but when I saw that picture, I was like, you know what? Those are cute. And I don't make socks. So while we were talking about it, I was like, oh, but if you don't make socks, you can just make the pair of leg warmers. And if you want, you can make matching wristers, and it could be like a whole thing. And as soon as we were done filming, I was like, I could make a pair of leg warmers.
The fire was lit.
So I did. I wanted to make leg warmers for like a really long time. And somehow like other projects just kept taking precedence.
Mm-hmm.
So finally, I just like sat down and got to it, and I made myself a pair of leg warmers with the pinstripe, and we have a picture of them on.
That is super cute.
I love them. You know what Mommy said? She said they look store-bought. But these were like super simple to make. Mm-hmm. I worked flat and seamed them, and I used
Angora lace?
Yes, Angora lace from Universal, which is discontinued sadly, but I think you can still get a little bit on the Premier Yarn website.
Yeah. And if you see it, definitely get it. It's beautiful yarn.
And it's fingering weight. It feels lovely. And I used a 3.5 millimeter hook. And these went very, very quickly because I started them Friday and I finished them yesterday, which was Wednesday, today's Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. Don't ask me what day it is. I never know. So from Friday to Wednesday, I was able to finish a pair. And as you can see, I just mimicked that little pinstripe detail at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I absolutely love them.
That's all it needed, though. It was really, really. Yeah, let me do a side-by-side with you and Wednesday. If you can hold yours up to the side. Yeah, absolutely.
And they're going to be quite warm. Now, I should tell you, I actually wear leg warmers. I wear leg warmers quite unironically fall and winter because they do keep your legs warm. Because, in the 80s, they were just decoration. Mm-hmm. But I'll wear a pair of these socks and then my pants, and you throw the leg warmers over that. You've got 3 layers on your legs. If you're not wearing a full-length coat,
yep,
it's really going to help keep your legs warm. So I plan to make quite a few of these. Each one of these was almost a full skein.
Oh, okay.
Of the yarn. So it's approximately the same size as a skein of hand dyed. So I could just, take 2 skeins of hand dyed and make these. And matter of fact, I have some hand dyed. I have these 2 skeins. I have no idea what I want to do with because I don't know. They just didn't strike me as a sweater.
Yeah.
And they about to be some leg warmers though.
Yeah. How long are those?
I think they're around 18 inches.
Okay.
And I call them my Thursday leg warmers because I made them after Wednesday. After I watched the series.
I like that.
So, I'm crazy about them. I'm not even gonna lie. I finished them last night and I went to bed smiling. I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so freaking cute. And they're giving me the vibes from those socks, but
absolutely
they're still like my own little thing. And that's it. I kept it real simple. Seed stitch for the body and regular single crochet for the cuff, the top and bottom cuff. I worked flat and seamed it. So yeah, there's my seam. I don't worry myself about trying to like hide seams or anything. Seams hold things together. So, everyone knows they're there.
And your seam is so neat. I mean, unless you draw someone's eye to it, it's not noticeable.
So that's my hop project. And I love it.
So thank you, Kim, for inviting us to be part of the hop. It's been a blast. Also, take a look at the other videos. There's going to be a playlist in the description bar. And keep an eye out for our Wednesday Addams Fashions video because it inspired these leg warmers.
The Thursday leg warmers.
Thank you, guys. Have a great Yarny YouTube Hop. Bye-bye.